Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Um, in this video, I wanted to do a topic that I have seen in my support group. I do belong to actually more than one support group for people who have had to deal with narcissistic relationships. And it helps with the recovery of dealing with a narcissist. And some of the people in my support group are still actually in a relationship with the narcissist. Some of them are fresh out, and some of them have been out for a long time. But I have seen this question in my support group where a lot of women ask, will the narcissist come back to me? And clearly they're asking this because they hold out hope that the relationship isn't really over and that the narcissist is going to come back to them and that the narcissist will come back as a changed person. And so at this point, you have been discarded by the narcissist, or maybe you ended the relationship because you couldn't deal with their behavior anymore. And so you're no longer with the narcissist, but you hope that he'll change and you hope that he'll come back to your life. Sadly, most narcissists actually will come back to you, but it's only to cause more damage. It's not something that you actually want to happen. It's not something that is really going to benefit you, and it's only going to prolong your pain and suffering. Narcissists will come back into your life if they do feel that you have more supply to give them. You have to remember that narcissists need other people. That is how they survive life. That is how they get their fuel. Having supplies to a narcissist is like having air to breathe to normal people like us. You can't live without air. A narcissist cannot live without supply. That's why you see them going from person to person and never even taking a break. They just bounce from person to person constantly. It's always a revolving door. They literally need supply like we need air. So if they know that you're still pining away for them and they know that you are hoping for a reconciliation, they will come back into your life. Even if they don't think that you're necessarily sitting around pining away for them, they will always circle back if they think there's even the smallest chance that they might get any supply from you, even if it's negative supply. The narcissist will still come back because supply is supply. So I see a lot of women ask, he ended the relationship and now he has a new supply. Is he ever going to change? Is he ever going to come back to me? And obviously, you're asking the question because you do want the narcissist to come back. At least part of you does. I think that you want the narcissist to come back as a changed person, but you still want them to come back nonetheless. And I know how hard that can be. When you get into a relationship with a narcissist, they literally make you the center of their universe. You're their whole world. And maybe it was the first time in your whole entire life that you actually felt important to somebody. I can definitely relate to that. I felt really insecure, really depressed. I had really low self-esteem. I didn't really believe in myself a whole lot. I didn't really have a ton of family support. I came from kind of a troubled family, I guess you could say. My dad was an alcoholic and he was abusive. And when you come from that kind of background, if you feel like your parents don't love you, then you feel unlovable. And obviously, if you have a parent who is abusive or is an addict, that can deeply affect your self-esteem. And you can feel like nobody in the world loves you and you don't even love yourself. So when the narcissist comes along and they make you feel beautiful and they make you feel smart, funny, they literally make you feel like you're so interesting and talented and you have all these wonderful qualities. And you've probably waited your entire life for somebody to see these things in you and for somebody to point them out. And the narcissist tells you that they love you. And you've probably been waiting your entire life for that. So when you meet somebody that you think actually loves you and they want to make you their world and they tell you that they're obsessed with you, they're infatuated with you, they don't stop calling, they don't stop texting, they want to hurry up and see you, they rush intimacy, they want to hurry up and live together, they tell you that they want to marry you, they get you a diamond ring, you don't want to give up on that. Inevitably, the relationship turns sour and the narcissist starts devaluing you. Once they know that they have you in their grasp, they don't have to try so hard anymore. They don't have to keep up all of the same things that they were doing to get you because now they have you. So their true self starts slowly coming out. And that's when they're not treating you as good anymore. And the relationship just goes worse and worse and worse until you're ultimately not together anymore. But that part of you still believes that the narcissist that you met is the true narcissist. The person that you met in the beginning of the relationship, you think that person is still there. You think that's who they were the whole time. And you're just waiting for them to come back. Even though you know what they're capable of and the monster that they turned into, you still hold on to that piece of how they treated you in the beginning. Because for that little moment, you did matter to somebody. You were somebody's entire world. And they loved you. Or they told you that they did anyway. Of course, narcissists can't really love anyone. But I've been there. Even though I'm the one that ended the relationship with him, I wanted to think that he could change. He was abusing drugs really, really bad, and I kicked him out. And a few weeks after we broke up, he eventually went to rehab. And this was the first time in his whole life that he ever went to rehab. So I wanted to believe that somehow it was possible that he could change and maybe he'll come back. But I knew deep down that I would never be able to trust him again and that the relationship was over. So, but maybe you're wondering, maybe he'll come back. Maybe he ended things because he just needed to be alone or he needed time to think or whatever his excuse is going to be. And you want him to come back into your life. And maybe it's been months and months and you haven't even heard from the narcissist. And you feel like you're like slowly dying without him. And you're just waiting for him to return. The narcissist will eventually come back at some point if they feel that you still have fuel to give them. If they're currently getting supply from a fresh new source, then you're not going to hear from them because new supply is always going to be better than old supply. They've already had supply from you. They've already been there. So it's not as exciting. It's not the same rush anymore. You're just sort of put on the back burner as like reserve supply when they run out of fresh supply. So if the narcissist has a new supply in their life and they're busy love bombing her, you aren't going to hear from the narcissist. They're not going to come back because now they have something else that's like the focus of all of their attention. They have to put so much time and energy into love bombing that they don't even have time to even talk to anyone else. So if you're not hearing from them right now, it's because they're busy getting fuel from somebody else. But I promise they're getting fuel. The narcissist is not capable of being alone and just sitting alone with themselves. They always have to have somebody giving them fuel and giving them supply. So just know that they're probably out there getting their fuel source from somebody else. And the second that the new supply or that new source isn't giving them fuel anymore, they'll circle back to you because they know that you'll always be there. They know that your feelings were genuine. They know that you really loved them. They know that you don't really want to give up. You're still thinking that maybe they could change. Maybe things could be different. Maybe things could be better. Maybe they'll go back to how they used to be in the very beginning. And they know that you're sitting around still hopeful, still waiting for that chance to get the narcissist back and try to work on things. So if you're wondering if the narcissist is going to come back into your life, I would say 99% of the time, at some point, yes. Maybe it won't be for a year or two. Maybe it won't be for 5 years. Maybe it'll just be a month. Maybe it'll be 6 months. There's really no way to put a time limit on when the narcissist is going to return. If they feel like the well has not run dry with you, and there's even the smallest chance that you will give them fuel, they will come back because they're not going to turn down fuel. It's like us turning down oxygen. Of course, we want to breathe. So, unfortunately, yes, the narcissist is going to come back. They are going to hoover you. They will come back into your life at some point. But you don't want them to. I know that maybe part of you does because you still love them. You still love the person that you thought they were. You still think of them how they were in the beginning of the relationship when things were good and they were treating you like a queen. But that's not who they really are. They're a horrible monster. And maybe they'll come back into your life because they don't have any other supplies, or you were the best supply they had. Maybe they moved on to a new fuel source and it wasn't as good. Maybe the new supply didn't do the things that you did or didn't treat them as good. So they realized, oh, I actually miss my old source. She was a way better source of fuel. So then they come back to you. Maybe they'll promise to change, say they might even go to therapy and do couples counseling, whatever, and try to work on themselves. And they're going to change. Just know that if they do come back into your life, it only feels good for like a second. In the very beginning, they're going to be on good behavior again because they want to suck you back into that web all over again. They want you to think that they really were that person that they told you they were in the beginning. They want you to think that they are that good person from the very beginning, and suddenly they've turned back into that person again, and that they really do love you, and they've realized the error in their ways. But every time you take the narcissist back, the lovey-dovey moments get shorter and shorter, and they return to being a dick all over again. And every time you take them back, the good moments, they're few and far between. It never lasts because now they know that they can do whatever and treat you however. They can even leave you and get a new supply, and yet you'll still be there to pick up the pieces. You'll take them back. You'll still love them. So as long as they know that, they're always going to take advantage. A narcissist is never going to do the right thing. They're never going to be honest with you and tell you the truth and say that you deserve better. And they're going to just leave you alone and let you find somebody who's really going to love you. They're not going to do that. They're going to tell you whatever you want to hear to manipulate you and keep you hanging on so they can still use you as long as they want. So if the narcissist does try to come back, I hope that you could try to stay strong and realize that you deserve so much more. The narcissist has already taken enough of your heart, your time, your energy, and you shouldn't give them any more power. The narcissist is the one that needs you. You don't need the narcissist. You deserve someone leaps and bounds better than them. You can do better than them. Good people still exist, and the narcissist is not one of them. The narcissist is the one that can't survive without you. They need you and they need your fuel source. But they don't need your love. They don't care about our feelings or our hearts or our emotions. They only care about what we provide them. We give them good fuel. So why would they reject that? So we have to be the ones to reject them. If they try to come back into our lives, you have to be strong and stand your ground and tell them that you deserve better and that you are going to get better. You're not going to settle for them anymore. You're not going to believe in their empty promises and empty words. All the narcissist is going to offer you are broken promises. They're never going to change. And if you do take them back, They're going to revert back to their old behavior and probably be worse this time because now they know that you're going to sit there and take it. I mean, after all, you did allow them back into your life. So why would they change? Unfortunately, I've went through this with my ex. I kicked him out of my house and he was gone for about a month. And then he came back. I let him move back into my home. And of course, he didn't change. He knew he didn't have to because I was going to take him back regardless. And he went back to getting the fuel that he wanted. And then he also went back to being a jerk right after he got what he wanted. So the honeymoon phase didn't even last. It lasted like 2 days, and then he was back to being a total asshole again. And then that time, it was actually worse. If you want to know if the narcissist is going to come back, they will. But do you really want them to? Knowing what they're going to bring and knowing what they're going to offer you, just heartache and lies and pain. As long as you're willing to give them supply, they will be there to take it. The relationship only truly ends when you decide that it's over. When you decide to walk away and you decide not to give them any more fuel, they'll go away. Because then they know that the well is dry and you're not going to give them any more. You're not going to give them what they want anymore. So they're not going to stick around. So please try to be strong. And when the narcissist does try to come back into your life, remember who they really are. Don't remember that person in the beginning, the fake person with all the love and the promises. That wasn't who they really are. The person at the end is who they really are. The person who made you cry, the person who was cheating, the person who lied, the person who was so cold and callous and didn't even care about your emotions, the person who could sit there and watch you cry and have tears streaming down your face, and it didn't even faze them. That's who they really are. If they try to come back into your life, please remain strong. Don't give them what they want. As long as you don't give them what they want, they will go away. And they'll find someone who is willing to give them what they want. And then you'll finally be free. And you'll finally be able to heal. And someday you will find that person. You will find that person who does love you. And they're not just going to make you empty promises. They're going to deliver real love, a real future, real dreams, not just fantasy. So I hope when your narcissist tries to come back into your life, you're able to remain strong and realize your worth and realize what you truly deserve, which is something so much better than what the narcissist has to offer. I hope this video was helpful to you guys. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.